For a majority of my time as an NBA fan, I would say that James Harden has been amongst the best players in the league. Really since 2013 when he first joined the Houston Rockets, he's been the undisputed best shooting guard in basketball. Year in and year out has been an MVP candidate, and I've just become accustomed to him putting up crazy numbers every year. So when this season rolls around and he has just not been good at all, it was shocking to me. And there have been many speculations about why he struggled, and I think I understand why, and I'm going to explain why in this video, why James Harden hasn't been as good as you would expect a player of his caliber to be to start the season through 7 games. Things are bound to change, obviously. He could bounce back and just be amazing in what we expected him to be, the rest of the season, but as of right now, it just hasn't been good. Before we go any further, if you're new and you like basketball, really think you would love this channel. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos like this, just talking about current events in basketball, among other things about basketball as well. I also make videos that take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball. Either of those things interest you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. But let's get right into it. So James Harden this season is averaging 18.6 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, 8.6 assists per game, 39.8% from the field, 38.5% from 3, 86.5% from the line, which is not what you would expect specifically in the scoring department, as he's somebody that hasn't averaged below 20 points per game in the season since his 3rd year, when he was the 6th man on the team backing up Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. So what's going on? Oddly enough, one thing I did notice is he's having one of the better 3-point shooting seasons of his career. 38.5% from 3 on 7.4 attempts. That is the second highest 3-point percentage he's had in his career, behind 39% in his second season. Actually, 3rd season, not 2nd season. My bad. And, so he's been a good 3-point shooter. That's one thing that hasn't regressed. If anything, he's been a better 3-point shooter than he was last season. So that's something that caught my attention, first of all. And obviously, the free throw production has gone down. He's averaging about 5.3 free throw attempts per game this season. But when you look at his free throw numbers, really, when you remove the outlier game, it's closer to like 3 to 4 free throw attempts a game. Because that one outlier 19 free throw attempt game, that's a big outlier. So, I don't know how much you count towards that, but, there are things he's still doing well, obviously. He's still passing very well for somebody that is known for being a scorer. The 3-point shooting has actually been really good for the most part. And, the obvious things are the free throw shooting and his finishing ability. Overall, though, I don't think this is as much of a problem relating to the rules that have been put in place as people think they are. Because James Harden is somebody that they've been trying to put rules in place for years now to try and stop the way he gets to the line. And each year they do this, each year he finds a way around it. And this is really the first year that you might say, they found a way around it, but I don't really think it's the case with the rules. First of all, what you have to notice is this isn't his first significant drop in free throw attempts. It happened last season. He went from almost 12 free throw attempts in the 2020 season to 7.3 free throw attempts in the 2021 season. So we already saw a significant drop in his free throw numbers. And, it's not as big of a drop this year, I would say. But, it is noticeable. The big reason why I think the numbers are going down, it has more to do with his finishing ability than anything. Because his finishing ability hasn't been good. His 2-point field goal percentage is significantly down from what we're used to. It's at 41%, so that's a start there. And, a majority of his 2-point field goals are going to be from the, finishing ability around the basket, because of the fact that he really doesn't take a lot of mid-range shots to begin with, so everything's going to be within like 0 to 10 feet. He is significantly down from 3 to 10 feet at 33.3% compared to 45% the year prior. His 0 to 3 foot is down from like 67% to 53%. And this has a lot to do with the hamstring injury he suffered, because the hamstring injury is like a big factor in this. It's taken a lot of his explosiveness away. And it's noticeable. He's not able to get separation, specifically trying to drive to the basket as you would think. He's not able to use his explosiveness as an athlete that he usually has. And it's affected him a lot. I think that's a big reason why. And when you're not able to finish the way he usually does, he's not able to get separation the way he usually does, it does lead to less ability to draw fouls. I do think the rules are somewhat playing into this. But I do also think if he was healthy right now, and he wasn't dealing with the hamstring, he was more explosive as an athlete, he would be closer to maybe the 7 free throw attempts we saw from him last season, rather than like the 5 that we see now. And definitely wouldn't be, somebody that can barely get to the line. Like, he's only getting to the line 3-4 times a game. Or getting 3-4 free throw attempts, I guess, is the better way to put it. So there is that. The passing again is still good. I think I mentioned that earlier. And I guess part of this is like, this really goes to show how good he is. Like, because, 19, 8, and 9 on like 40, 39, 87 shooting splits for most players would be a pretty good season, an all-star level season. For him, it's a complete disappointment. That goes to show you how good he is. Also, this might sound weird to say, but part of this might be natural regression on top of adjusting to new rules. So like part of this, like obviously is him adjusting to new rules and dealing with the injury, or part of this just might be natural regression. He's 32, which in real life, outside of sports, like 32 is like relatively young. In basketball, however, 32, especially given how young players enter the league now, that's a long time in one profession. That's 13 years in the NBA, which shocked me to find out that he was in his 13th season, because it still feels like he's in his 7th or 8th year for me. And, 32 is like, you're like, maybe not like falling off, but like, you're slowly starting to like, come down from your peak. And I think that's kind of starting to happen to Harden. I kind of noticed it last season as well, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, he's been in the league for a long time. For some perspective on how long he's been in the league, this season's rookies, most of them were either just starting driver's head or legally not old enough to drive when James Harden won his first scoring title and first MVP. And all of them weren't legally old enough to drive, or a majority of them, specifically the one and dones, weren't old enough to drive when he was, the guy that led the league in assists and almost won his first MVP in 2017. But 2018 was my junior year of high school, and for a majority of the 2021 NBA draft, that was their sophomore year of high school. So they were 15, turning 16. So guys like Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, and Scotty Barnes, those guys were like likely just starting driver's ed. And then guys like Jonathan Kuminga, guys like Moses Moody, guys like Jalen Green, just to name a few, they weren't legally old enough to drive. I may be wrong about that completely, I don't remember the complete math, but it's something like that. The point is, these guys that were like in the league now playing, like 19, 20 years old, they weren't legally old enough to drive when Harden won his first MVP. That's how long he's been in the league, guys. It's been a long time, which I can't believe. And he's not the only one. I can go all day about other players, but yeah, I do think like maybe this is a part of him slowly starting to come down from his peak. And he's had a great run in the league. He's proven he's one of the best shooting guards to ever play the game of basketball. But at the same time, he just is kind of getting older. He's going to be 33 next year. And before you know it, like, he's going to be like 35 sooner than later. Like, it feels like it's a few years away, but it'll go by quickly. It will. And this might be a part of it. You know, I think really in the end, what's going on with James Harden is this. He's dealing with a hamstring injury that's hindered his athleticism, his ability to finish around the basket, which has led to maybe some inability to draw fouls. There's a new rule in place that he's trying to adjust to as well. And he's just getting older. And this is something we noticed last year a bit as well with the free throw regression. So I think those are the reasons why Harden has not been the player we expected him to be this season. It's not just one thing, it's many things. And that's really true with a lot of cases of outlier situations in basketball. So, yeah, that's really about it.